Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. Hi, I am your Dragon Slayer crone, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing on Facebook. She is our traveling crystal crone, and she's actually at home base today. This is an unusual event. And then, of course, as always, supporting us from below, we have Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski, and she is our stargazer crone. Hi, ladies. It's so good to see you. How you doing?
I'm well. I'm hot.
You are, but how's the weather?
It's muggy. It's muggy.
Well, that's hot too. and you said, Damaris, it's hot where you're at as well,
yeah,
right?
It's like muggy, like yeah, muggy. Not a good hair day.
No.
Yeah, has the smoke dissipated for you?
Yes, thank God.
Oh my goodness, definitely. That is so. When we lived in Washington State, not going to overly compare Washington with New York. However, when we lived in Washington State, we frequently would experience the fire from Canada. They really enjoyed sharing their smoke.
I don't care to share.
I like sharing a lot of things. Keep your smoke.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it's just the way the jet stream comes down, literally, and like
really
Washington State is the beginning of the same jet stream that hits New York.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, so.
But they said that it was the worst in New York City than anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there was something about whatever weather pattern was like out to sea that was blocking my own face here, that was blocking the smoke from going out to sea. So it just got kind of like funneled down to Long Island. And I mean, I've never seen orange smoke like that.
And
that
smell, like you could smell it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the haze and the color. You could smell smoke.
Yeah.
So that's really not fun.
No.
Yeah, no, we had that.
You did? Yeah.
Not here, but yeah, we did. It was awful. We had to wear masks actually, the N95s. The 1 year, I think it wasn't the last summer we were there. It was the summer before. We all had to wear N95 masks. The smoke was that bad. So sorry. Yeah.
No worries. I saw videos of people driving through the fires in Canada. And here's the interesting thing. I mean, I've seen dozens of videos of people driving through wildfires before, from living in Arizona, being right next to California, and all that unmaintained PG&E wires that started a spate of wildfires a few years ago in California. And that smoke is almost always white.
Yeah.
It freaked me out because the Canadian smoke from the very source started out orange, right? Like,
wow.
It was almost like, it's like, what wood is burning?
Yeah.
Has it been treated? What's going on here? Because it was just nasty. There's something unnatural about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have a question for us today, Miss Krista?
I do. I have an interesting question. I have a couple. But the first one we're going to go with is, do either or any of you, to include our watchers, hey, Hair Bear, do you have a secret talent that people are unaware of?
There's secret for a reason, Krista.
Well, but you see, curious minds such as myself like to know these things.
Oh my goodness. All righty. Well, give
Does
us yours
anybody?
first.
My secret talent. Oh, that's really interesting. A secret talent. What secret? Hey, Jen, what secret talent would you say I have? I'm asking my daughter.
Woo! That Saved by the Bell.
She's like, Saved by the Bell. So, all right, no, a secret talent that I have that a lot of people probably wouldn't be aware of is I can teach anybody how to swim, even
very-
someone who's terrified of swimming.
Nice.
That is something that I just am really good at that. Don't forget to open the gate for him.
Oh, right.
Sorry, we have to let people in and out of a gate, and we have to actually physically open it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, what about you guys?
You ready, Damaris?
No, I'm trying to think, and I want to keep stuff secret too.
Right?
Wow.
Mine's all shared
Come on.
Okay, so for me, I have a secret talent of being able to handle anything in front of me and then freak out about it 24 hours later.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah,
Things mode, and then afterwards it's like, I really didn't like that. Can we talk about that? Kind of thing. And they're like, I thought you were fine. And why is this happening now? And it's like, well, I wasn't ready to process it without looking like an idiot. So now I'm ready.
well, there you go. No, I can get that. Yeah, I understand that. Yep. So Damaris, what do you have that would be?
I feel that I have, like, if I read a book, say for example, 10 years ago, and I remember a phrase, I feel like I know exactly where that phrase was from, and I can go straight to that book and get it. So like I have like a memory of, like, if something really resonates with me, I can, know exactly where to go find it.
That's
And
awesome.
if it takes me a little bit, I'll think about it until I'm like, this is where I saw it, and I go get it.
Nice.
That is awesome. That is really, really, really awesome.
I
So,
very
all
much
right.
see that because in my studies and having read the Bible a number of times, I cannot cite chapter and verse of anything. I will know that I read it. I know it's in the Bible. I may be paraphrasing or whatever, a quote, but I cannot tell you what book and what verse.
And there are people that are so good with that, with the Bible and their verses. Yeah, I've seen it. And I'm like, wow. I really haven't read the Bible like from the beginning to the end. Like I'll pick it up and I'll read some parts of it, but I've never read like the whole Bible. But I know that people are so good with that.
I know a lot of people who have gotten stopped at the genealogy, and they're like, this goes on forever and ever and ever, and it means absolutely nothing to anybody here in the 21st century. But you slog through it. You do your assignment. In my case,
yeah.
No, no, never. I've read parts of it, but
yeah, me too.
Yeah. There are other books that I've had to read as somebody who had studied history and got my degree in history. Yeah, that wasn't one.
right?
No, didn't need to read it. And have no need to read it now. So yes, hey, there are some books that speak to people, and there are others that don't. All right, so I have the other question. This one's not too weird, but I think it would be kind of neat. What's your favorite room in the house?
In whose house?
Your house, where you live. What's your favorite room?
Okay, so probably my bedroom is my favorite room in my new apartment. My living room, it's kind of funny because my apartment's furnished and I'm grateful. Everything looks beautiful. But the couch is like a beige leather. And the way the TV is set up, I only stream. So I really don't care about the cable and all that kind of stuff. But there's like 5 minutes of getting through things to watch anything on my stream thing. So my bedroom is no longer my comfy zone where I can curl up on the couch and hit the remote and, you know, chill out with Bridgerton for a couple of hours, you know?
Yeah.
So it's become my bedroom because now I've got like, I told Harry I should not have done this, and I went and did it anyway. I bought a TV for the bedroom. I told him that I shouldn't do this because I'm going to start eating in bed if I do this, and I have. So I cocoon, I nest, I freaking mow, and you know, watch my shows, and I'm comfy, and I got my wedges, and I got my vibrating things, and it's my nest.
Because you're vibrating responsibly.
I'm talking.
That didn't sound too good.
Oh no, that was perfect. That was amazing, Gayle. I could not have set that up any better if I actually wrote
that somewhere else. I took that somewhere else.
Oh, come on.
I swear.
Oh, come on. Really?
Thinking about the vibrating pillow my sister gave me from my back. I promise.
Like I said, vibrate responsibly. You can interpret it however you would like.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Why do I always cry when I'm
everything, right?
Oh my gosh. All right. That was a good one. You got me on that.
I'm like, seriously, I couldn't have set it up any better. You just walked right into it. That's great.
Completely naively, because that's not what I was thinking of at all. I was thinking of
Yeah. Okay. Jen's like, you know, you can say whatever you want to convince yourself.
Oh my gosh, I saw a video on TikTok the other day that just asked the question. It was one of those stitches where somebody like comes in and goes, oh my gosh, or whatever, to the original video. And the original video is, ladies, seriously, who is in charge of your vibrator removal upon your death? Because kids are going to go through your bedside table and they're going to find things you don't want them to find.
Oh my gosh.
It was awesome.
That's pretty good. Never thought of that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and we all have somebody like set up for, okay, delete my browser history. Here's my passwords to get into my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once in a while on a directive, every 360 days, post something from me just to freak people out.
Oh boy. Yeah. We'll have to start rethinking those death wishes, if you will, or,
right?
As assignments, right?
In the event of my death, crack glass, take the scroll out, and execute.
Oh
there you go.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So Damaris, what's your favorite room in the house?
I would say it's my den, because that's where I cuddle and watch shows, like Gayle was saying, on her bed. That's where I, like, you know, in the winter time or whatever, you know, we cuddle there, and I would say the den.
Awesome. I love that. So I think for me and for us as a family, it's our kitchen. Because we cook together as a family, we eat together as a family, and I do my podcast right now in the kitchen. Jenna's reminding me. Well, you know, everywhere else is kind of taken as well. So, you know, when you have a house full of people, you just kind of have to move, you know, make space. So yeah, I mean, it is
up on the third floor in the summertime.
Oh, it does. It gets really hot up there in the summer. And so, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be down here. And today it's very warm. As a matter of fact, I kind of feel bad for the boys. I'm like, oh, sorry, guys. Jen's like, why don't we turn the air conditioning on up there? Well, maybe we'll discuss that in a little bit. But yeah, for us, it's the kitchen as a family, and even as me, you know, for me, it's just a place where we commune and we congregate. So yeah, that's kind of what I like. All right. So we have time for, I think, one more question. It's only 6:15, 12:15 for you. All right. So, let me think. I'm trying to find something. Oh, are you somebody? So we were supposed to have pizza for dinner tonight. You know, I was like, I was trying to order it before the podcast, and Jen was going to go pick it up. Yeah, the pizza place we order from is closed. So, but this is what is inspiring the question. Are you somebody who likes pineapple on your pizza, or should pineapple and pizza never be together?
I like it on my pizza.
I think that anybody who says that pineapple doesn't belong on pizza should be barred from ever eating a Snickers bar again, because it's a salty and sweet combination that I love, right? And that's the same thing that a Snickers is based on, the salty and sweet. So you don't want pineapple and pizza, no Snickers for you.
No Snickers for you.
I
like the soup Nazi.
Right.
Huh? No soup for you.
Yeah.
So no, I love pineapple on my pizza. So I'm going to help people. Do you guys realize that there's an enzyme? This is what makes eating pineapple pizza so good. There's an enzyme in the pineapple that breaks down the fat, so your body won't actually absorb the fat from the pizza.
I did not know that. That's very.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Yep, that is, and it's a true that is very true, unless they've disproven it, unless they went and and then they wouldn't be very popular people.
I'm going to get to the pineapple superfood in a second, but this is something that Harry has introduced me to, and it's not bad. Pineapple with pepperoni instead of ham is even better, because there's that more savoriness to it, just the salty to it, and it's really, really good, really good.
I'll have to give that a go at some point. That sounds yummy.
I was like, "Are you crazy?" And yeah, it was actually really good. So pineapple is a superfood. Okay, so that enzyme that you just told us about, so that breaks down the fat and the cheese.
Yep, it breaks down the fat and the cheese and the ham. Yep.
Right.
So.
There's also an enzyme in pineapple, either fresh pineapple or pineapple juice, that will settle a tickle in your throat. Like if you've got one of those kind of coughs, it will settle the tickle in your throat. And I don't know if this is connected or not, but there is an old wives' tale that says that men who eat pineapple have a sweeter ejaculate. So if your old wife ain't quite enjoying the protein shake, try a little pineapple in it. It might, go down a little easier.
I didn't know that one.
Why does she know that one?
So Genevieve is over here just laughing. She's like dying. So yes, this is what happens when you're almost 21-year-old is watching or listening. Yep. We don't have it as PG at all.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
yeah,
every time I post it, I have to hit the button that says "not for children."
Not for children.
So,
yeah.
Awesome.
So those are my questions for today, and I invite the audience to answer any of the Hair Bear answered the one where it was the pineapple. And pepperoni, but go ahead, tell us what your favorite room is in your house and maybe why. That could be a really fun thing. It's always interesting how people connect. I mean, all three of us have different rooms that we really resonate with, and that's a really, really cool thing. Hey, and if you have a superpower.
Back in Phoenix, my favorite room would have been the garage, right? So garage counts. Right, because we used to sit in the garage, all of us, and watch the TV and watch the people going by, and it was practically a shaded front porch.
Yeah, and in Phoenix, I'm sure shade is like it's worth a mint.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You don't want any direct sunlight. But the really cool thing is, in the neighborhoods down in Phoenix, when it starts to rain, people will open up their garage doors and stand in their garage and watch it rain. That's how novel it is.
Oh,
know.
wow.
Yeah, to have it come down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we just look at our window and go, oh, it's raining again. Yeah, can you guys keep that door open, please? I need the air circulating. So everyone's coming in. You may get a huge hello from everyone.
Fantastic.
Kevin just came in. Oh wait, here he
Hi,
comes.
Kevin.
Hello, ladies. How you doing?
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
Great, great. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today, so it's not as hot as the last couple of days. Been
Yeah.
kind of stifling. Yeah.
You must be
Okay.
back to work. The scruff is gone.
Oh yeah, you gotta shave the work, every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looking good. Looking good.
All
It's
right,
good.
thank you. You guys have a good show.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, my dear, let's do this, Damaris.
All right. So I want to talk about two things today. I'll say it quick so I don't take too much time. And give you guys time to chime in. So I want to talk about Pluto going back into Capricorn at 29 degrees. So it's at the last little bit of, it's going to be there till January, right? 2024. But what is...
Let me interrupt. For what, 6 weeks ago? We were talking about this for like 3 weeks in a row, how it was going to be in and then it was going to come back and then it was going to get going again. So think back, all you guys that are watching, to those conversations, because this is like the next part of it. I'm so glad you started with this, Damaris. I forgot.
Oh, thank you. But what the huge part about it is that it's going to trigger the April solar eclipse that was in Aries. At 29 degrees as well. So what does that mean? Wherever you have your Aries, it's kind of bringing a metamorphosis to that area. So like my Aries is in the 9th house. So the 9th house, it has to do with your philosophy, your true love. It has to do with your religious or spiritual beliefs, your belief system. So literally it's in there doing a metamorphosis on my 9th house, which is my belief system. And it's so amazing how my beliefs have also shifted within, I just think they have evolved, even more so. And so Pluto, I just want to say Pluto has to do with your soul levels. Pluto has to do with the your evolution of your soul. So Pluto is not, it doesn't care about your ego, which is your sense of self. Your ego is your sense of identity, your sense of self. Pluto doesn't care about it. Pluto wants you to go beyond time and space and see who you really are on a soul level. So it's more interested on who you are as a soul, who you really are, right? And transcending into that being that you may know or may not know yet, right? And it wants you to get rid of it wants you to purge, what you're carrying, right? Sometimes, our belief systems sometimes are old beliefs that no longer resonate, but we're still holding on to that. I'm in a group where people are really talking about the Bible. They're really sticking to scripture, right? But sometimes, this is just in my perception, we can't take things verbatim. We can't take it, literal. There's some decoding that has to go on in there, right?
Right. There's a letter of the law and there's the spirit of the law.
Yes, 100%. So I've been going through that metamorphosis, right? I've been going through that, what scripture versus, what I come to know now in spirituality, and sort of like dissecting the Bible and really truly looking at it from a symbolical kind of energy, if you will, or archetypal energy, if you will. So for other people, it may be different, but wherever your Aries is, that's the house that's going through a huge change with that Pluto going back into Capricorn and triggering the Aries solar eclipse from April.
Now, let me ask you, my Aries is in Saturn is in Aries in my 5th house. So what's the 5th house energy?
Your 5th house has to do with your creative abilities, your children. It has to do with, sometimes it's lust, not necessarily love. The fifth house has to do with sometimes being promiscuous. It has to do with, gambling. Sometimes we gamble, not necessarily money. Sometimes we gamble with something, right? We gamble with our lives. Sometimes people that are very sort of like, they do bungee jumping, they jump out of airplanes, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's gambling.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's gambling. So how is it that you gamble in your life in the fifth house? Also your children, also your creative endeavors. The fifth house is ruled by Leo. And so Leo has to do with, also, do you wear your heart on your sleeve, or are you very much like you don't want people telling you what to do? Because Leo is a fixed sign, and it's also, it's in its own authority. So it doesn't want other people's authority telling it what to do. So you have to look at that too. So you have to look at the house. Right. His house. So
really kind of interesting, those three matching up, Saturn, Aries, and the fifth house, because it's very much, rules, what I can do, what I can't do. I normally play it safe. When I do take action, and there's passion behind it or whatever. So that's
Pluto wants you to get rid of those limitations, all those restrictions. Don't identify with the ego self. It wants you to go beyond the ego into the soul level. It wants you to almost like go beyond time and space and tap into your purity, your soul level at its core. And because it's about evolution, it's about, moving forward into the next phase, into the next chapter of your life. And so specifically with each house where Aries is, because it's triggering it. And so I don't know, where's yours, Krista?
I'm looking at it right now. It's in the 8th house.
Wow. So it's all about the 8th house. It's all about transformation. It's all about transmutation, regeneration. It's literally the house of the death of the ego.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And sometimes it can be physical death, right? But that's not for you. But it's the death of the old Krista. And who is the new Krista that's going to show up, so to speak?
Okay.
That's what the 8th house
is. The empty nester turtle. Who is that, Krista?
I like that, empty nester turtle. That's funny.
Well, you're coming into a huge transition.
We really are.
Yeah.
We truly are.
And so who is Krista going to be then, right? And so right now the energies are shifting you, the energetic at an energetic level, and then you're going to take that role on, next year of who Krista is going to be, the new Krista, right?
Yeah.
Being behind the military, say, right?
Yeah. Leaving that behind. I am. It's all about transition and transformation right now for me. So that's really kind of cool.
Yeah. And so then the other part that I want to talk about is Venus in Leo. Venus rules two of the signs, right? It rules Taurus and it rules Libra. So it's going to have themes in both. It has to do with finances. That's all Taurus. So it has to do with your finances. It has to do with your confidence level. It has to do with relationships, your communication, also with relationships and how you deal with your personal relationships, because that's the Libra energy, right? Because it rules both the Taurus and Libra. So it's going to have themes in both. So that Leo energy, it's about how are you showing up? How are you, Leo wants you to be confident, courageous, bold. How are we going to show up? Are we going to show up that way? I always think of right there, you think of the feminine energy with the Venus, but then the Leo has a masculine energy. How do you balance those two, right? And so that's also showing up now. So it's almost like the universe and all these planets is shaping us up into who we need to be and how we need to show up.
Oh, there's on so many levels. There's so many
levels, so many layers
happening in my life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I get what you're, just yes. Yes, yes,
Also,
and I understand.
things that we
Right.
have to purge out of our lives, right? That Pluto, what are we purging? We can't carry those things with us,
Mhm.
whether they're belief systems, whether the baggage, whatever it is, we have to
Mhm.
purge in order to become who we're becoming, because we're in a process of becoming and letting go of the ego, right? Some people have a huge ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a really hard time letting go of that self identity, right? Because that's all they've known. They haven't really tapped into their soul level, their soul energy, and they're going to have a really, really hard time. And so it's about collapsing I'm going to say what's been false, right?
Mhm.
Not just for ourselves, individually, but collectively. And also,
Mhm.
I've said this before, and I know, and I'm not saying just you, Gail, because I also have people that I love, actors or actresses. You love Barry. And so it's about how are we going to leave our own legacy, right? Because we're, admiring this person for what they've done in their lives, but what are we doing in ours? What legacy are we leaving behind? Whether it's small,
Mhm.
whether it's big, that's where we have to focus now. Because,
Mm-hmm.
for example, with Barry, he made his mark, right?
Oh yeah, he really
Made
did.
his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So now yours, how are you leaving yours? Whether
Right.
again small or big, and age has something to do with it. With a shift of overnight, things can shift, and things can change. So
Right.
it's
Yep.
really about focusing on the self.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow's not guaranteed.
No.
We and a lot of people live in that. Well, that's a tomorrow. I mean, there are some things that can be a tomorrow. That can be a tomorrow issue. But the reality is you should be you should be trying every day.
I have
Yes.
a really powerful example story about that.
Oh,
My
good.
sister-in-law's parents, they're, good traditional family, right? And the husband worked for GM and he had everything all structured so that, like at retirement, they were going to retire, they were going to get an RV, they were going to travel the country. Okay.
Mhm.
And they had their kids like 5 years apart. So each child got one-on-one time the whole thing was planned and executed beautifully. Okay.
Mhm.
Then a very short time before the husband retired, the wife came down with Alzheimer's. And
Oh,
instead of traveling the country together to see America, he put her in the RV, took her to Mexico, and tried to find treatments that we weren't getting up here. So,
Mhm.
like you said, you can make all the plans that you want in the world, but sometimes those are just not a someday thing,
No, they aren't.
Use the good china now.
yeah.
That's it. Hey, here's a real good clue. Today is someday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Don't
is.
wait.
Today's the
Today. Today is the day.
day.
You're right. Don't wait to use the good china, because you can celebrate every day. Every day there's something to celebrate. Yeah, granted, some days more than others, but
Yeah.
there's always something there. So yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
And so today we have a number 8 vibration, which
I
the
love
number 8, I also see it as the strength card, right? In the tarot, because we do tarot. I see it as the strength card. Also, I always see it as the infinity sign, as above, so below, also, and I'm going to stick to the as above, so below strongly, because whatever we have in here, we are going to experience it below, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's in our body, physical body, or whether it's in our experience, everyday experience. So I
Mhm.
think the mind is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. I really do.
It truly is. Yes.
Yeah.
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 And
Definitely.
sometimes you come across where people, you listen to them and it's like so scary what's in here,
Mhm.
and I'm like,
Well,
oh
I was
my
going to say it just as joking, but it's true. Sometimes the mind is a terrible thing.
It
Period.
is. It can literally bring you to hell, really. Like in a state of, it could bring you into a hell. depending on how you perceive everything and how you react to everything. You know, it can literally bring you into a state of hell.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That the way you just described that, that's really kind of remarkable. Yeah. You'll get it here in a minute. You're gonna get it. It's all gonna work in a minute. It's gonna work in a minute.
So I'm gonna give it to you, Krista.
Awesome stuff. All right. Well, let's take a look at this for a second before Krista starts.
I was dancing. All right. So yeah, so it's a little bit of a teaser. I love the fact that it's number 8, and I kind of yes, I resonated with it because of course Aries being in my 8th house. But the other thing that came across for me is because 8 really resonates well with the crystal of the week, citrine, right? Because it's considered a money stone, and 8 is considered to be abundant.
Yes.
So, but I'm going to do something before we get excited and get started with the crystal. Let's use the number 8 and the infinity sign and open up our minds a bit. You guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
Do an exercise? Okay, I'm going to take my glasses off so I can be blind as a bat. Okay, you're going to take your fingers. Everybody do this. Get yourself seated comfortably. This is such a great thing. I love doing this. You're going to take your fingers and you're just going to draw.
We've done this before, right?
We have. And then you're just going to feel the energy just starts to shift. You're balancing the right with the left. And you'll know that you're kind of getting there when your jaw, okay, here it goes. Your jaw. And then you're done. What you've just done, believe it or not, is you've really shifted your energy and balanced it out right and left right here in the brain.
Nice.
And that's just kind of what, when the number 8 comes up, for me, yeah, there's a lot of abundance. There's a lot of rooted. There's as above, is same as above. So above,
below.
As above is so below. Thank you. All of a sudden, my brain, I was like, I'm reversing this, and I couldn't unreverse it in my head. So the really cool aspect, though, when we're talking about citrine, is it's about energy. The other thing about citrine, it was really funny. I looked, my energy just started dragging at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm like going, oh, I have to get my boost of energy up because, of course, we have the podcast tonight. And then I went and I reviewed what the crystal of the week was. And I saw it was citrine. I was like, well, of course I'm tired because I need to use the citrine to boost my energy. This makes perfect sense to me. Kind of like, the number 8 and what you were saying about not Aries, but Saturn. Was that right?
Number 8 is ruled by Saturn also.
And there you go. So you're talking about Saturn, but citrine. So like I was saying, citrine is really good. It's considered a money stone. And I brought one of my citrines out too. I love it. This is one of my citrines. Isn't this one?
That is beautiful.
Isn't she gorgeous?
She's beautiful.
She is. She's awesome. I've had her for a number of years now. And every now she has rainbows in her as well. I don't know if she gets shy. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can see it right there. She gets shy. She doesn't always like to show them on camera. But she doesn't, she's like, no. I'm a little bashful. I'll tell you, crystals have personalities like plants and cats and
it's her
dogs.
secret talent. She has every right to keep it secret.
Yeah.
And there you go. She does. Every right to keep a secret. But it's really, so going back to what's really great about this stone and for right now is the other thing that is really good with helping is it helps inspiration flow. So when you're needing, when you need to be inspired, when you need to work on a project and you need that inspiration, citrine help, or not citrine, carnelian helps with the creativity aspect. Citrine helps to get that flow going, to get that, to get you unstuck, if as it were, with the energy. And since we're talking about having to be a little bit creative and creativity for Gayle, right?
Mhm.
That was part of the shift, the changing,
Yeah,
and
that's the fifth house.
like
Yeah.
Mhm.
in her fifth house. This would be this is really good. That it also helps with managing anger. And some of these things that have been going on for people, and I guess because I do watch the news from many different venues, not just one. It's very interesting, watching and observing people and how they get so thrown with life. They become very reactive with life. And whereas when you're more grounded in yourself, it's not that you don't get angry, because yes, I get angry. But you have a tendency to be less reactive and more, what's the word I'm thinking?
The
You don't
observer.
react. Well, it's not just being an observer. You become proactive rather than reactive, in what it is that you're
Or
doing.
at the very least,
And-
measured in your response as opposed to
Yeah.
popping
Yeah,
off in reaction.
exactly. You take a breath. You maybe count to 10. You're maybe able to observe and, like you said, Gayle, process, and then go back and
Yeah.
be proactive in
Yeah.
your response.
Or constructive, even.
And
Like,
very constructive. And with a lot of the stuff that's been going on and around all of us
mhm.
and just what we're observing, we need a little bit more of being proactive versus reactive.
Mhm.
We need a little bit more of turning in and believing in ourselves. So using that self-esteem, right?
Mhm.
Understanding that our balances, that helps us, our yin and our yang, and being balanced, that really helps us. It helps us feel better about ourselves, because citrine is about making us feel better. Citrine is about us learning to learning, being open to learning new things, being open maybe to teaching new things. Gayle, you one of the things that Damaris was talking about for you, was me. I'm going into a huge transition, and
Mhm.
of course, you have your layers of wonderful things that are options and as well. So yeah. So for me, citrine is really cool. But do you guys want to? Does anybody have a house that they're selling anytime soon?
Not me personally.
No.
All right. So I'm going to give you a really cool super secret squirrel thing to use. Those are a gift. To use for, okay. To use for
When you're selling a house.
when you're selling your house. Citrine. Get tumblies of citrine and put them in each window. And it will help you sell your house faster. For what you have to set your intention, but it is really great for helping those who want to sell their house.
Very nice.
I've used citrine to sell 2 houses.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. So, but really kind of embrace the energy of the citrine.
I want to add on to that for anybody who is looking to sell their house and buy another house. All right. Yes, definitely the citrine, but also when you find a house that feels like it might be your next home,
Yeah.
do the numerology on the address,
Mhm.
and then
Oh,
look
yes.
what that
Yes.
number is, because
Definitely.
that house might be a great house for somebody in a different situation than you are. You
Mhm.
know, it's it could have fret energy as opposed to focus energy. You know,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Or
when
family energy.
trying to do a business from home in a house that is set for the energy of partying all the time, you're going to get a lot of distractions. You're going to get a lot of drama. You're not going to be able to focus on your business, kind of thing. There are definitely really good guidances to go with numerology as far as a place to live.
Yes.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
agree.
I do too. For me, yeah, it does. It all depends where you live and what you're trying to do. So yeah, and the number. Definitely. I agree. Yeah.
Alrighty.
People in Asia, that's how they go about it.
Yeah.
They look at the numerology first.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And then you know if it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Cool. Well, Krista, you want to tell us a little bit about Patreon?
Yes, Patreon is our Coven of Joy membership over there on Patreon. You can join us at Three Crones in the Woo Woo. It's a great way to help support us. We have 2 levels. We have the Citrine level, which helps keep the lights on. And so we thank all our Citrine members. And then we have an Amethyst level, which is our wisdom level. And that level is really awesome because you get to meet with us for Moon and Woo twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month. And we talk about the moon phases, and we talk about various other things. And you get to spend, like, you're in the room with us, having conversations. So you can ask us all kinds of questions. You can get a first hand response or an immediate response and reactions. And we show up in a very different way because frequently we're a lot more casual.
Frequently, we're halfway through a cup of coffee. Maybe that's just me.
Well, for us, it's at 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And for me, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit different, different time of day, different energy of the day for sure.
And Maris and I are having coffee, and
Yeah.
Chris is waiting for happy hour.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's 12 o'clock someplace.
Right?
So
You want me to
yeah.
in, hon? I'll get him in a second. All right, so let's do this. All right? Boom.
There we go.
That's like in bits and pieces.
Well, hello. Alrighty, so let me like kind of bring this up to speed here. Because I just got distracted by Krista and Gregory posting emojis into the chat, but they're coming across as words, not the actual little picture. So we've got a pride unicorn rainbow mane, and we've got a pride person earth intersex. What the hell is an intersex?
I don't know. It looks like a little green monster doing this.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it looks like. I was looking for the hearts like we had last week, but I'm on my computer, not my phone. So yeah, I'm having a different things.
Okay. So all right, so let's talk about shining brightly, showing up brightly, right? There's a big difference between just showing up and like showing up brightly, right? And I love Citrine for that, because Citrine, it's always occurred to me like the sunshine stone.
Mhm.
It changes your disposition into a sunny, cheerful disposition. I used to have this beautiful ring that was I think it was a 6-sided. It's not an octagon, but it's like that, whatever the 6-sided one is, of that. And then it was surrounded by garnets. on the outside. It was a nice dinner ring, right? It was big. And I no longer have it, but I remember every time I would put that on, it just simply transformed me into a happier person. My voice sounded different. I looked at things differently. It was delightful to wear that ring on my ring finger, because there is an energetic meridian that goes directly from your ring finger to your heart, which is why we wear wedding rings on that finger. Not that, anybody from the church is ever going to tell you that, but that's what's
Imagine.
imagine. No. So at any rate, I absolutely adored that ring, and I loved the effect that it would have on me. Right. So really, really good stuff to help you show up brightly. Now, we just talked about a whole bunch of stuff that is really just kind of milling around in my head right now. But specifically, looking back on what Damaris and what Krista have contributed about, like where Saturn is in Aries in my 5th house, and the creativity and stuff like that, and my children and what I'm going to leave as a legacy. I mean, I am coming into, if my life were a pimple, it would pop on Saturday, right? It would like come to a head and be, like this is the culmination of everything, basically. And it's not something that could have happened a while ago. Well, I've been doing this singing Barry happy birthday since 2018. Well, I take that back. We did it 2018. We did it 2019. 20 and 21 didn't happen. Yeah. All right. But we're back, right? Everybody's back. We're going out for this and everything. Now, one of the things that's really been interesting about what Damaris was just telling me, right, is Saturn is that rule maker, right? And this entire thing is all about these transformations. Well, I have been in the past, somebody was like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, I don't want anybody to know. Oh, I'll just stay under the radar. I don't have any tall poppy syndrome going on here. I'm just under the radar. We're just going to go and have a good time. Right. The way that I've been living in the last couple of years, that's no longer possible. There is no flying under the radar. The radar is blip, blip, blipping every time that I freaking show up. Okay. And it's lovely. And it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit scary. But I'm also getting all of these little points of encouragement, right? So I'm putting this out there for the rest of you as well. Whatever that transformation is for you, right? Whatever house that Aries sits in on your chart, go look it up, right? Yeah. Figure that part out for yourself. Where does that sit? Where is this transformation happening? Because it all ties into what we've been talking about for the last few months, how Pluto is changing everything. Right? And we have been in Pluto and Capricorn. It went retrograde a couple of weeks ago. It is now 6 weeks ago. Remember this conversation, Krista? Now it took 6 weeks to get back to the door of Aquarius, and it's knocking, right? And it's going, let me in. And we're going to hang out here for the next 6 months till January 4th. Yeah. Okay. So for this next 6 months, we're basically going back in and dustbustering anything else that needs to be cleaned up for this.
Yes. And I think it's kind of fun to watch.
It is. It definitely
I'm having a good time watching it.
So, whatever that particular one is for you, it will help you a lot if you actually do go find out where that lays in your chart, like Damaris did for me, right? Mm-hmm. So that you can start actually putting that REM mind, that brainstem, the random access memory, the RAM memory you've got, right? Put that to work, looking for evidence of your transformation. So you're not out there going, well, they said this was going to happen, but it's not happening like Gayle's does. And I just, it's personal to you, right? And this is the way that you are going to help the world as a whole, as an individual. Like that's the whole Pluto point, right?
Yes.
Is to break down where the higher ups have been telling us how to live, right? And the rising of the individual helping one another, in a worldwide global community, right? And we look at things like TikTok and Facebook and the reels and all of that kind of stuff, and we can already see that happening where individuals are helping the general public, the community, through their little videos, through all of these little things that we're putting out there, right? We're getting the help that we need from people like Dr. Alicia Antiqua, who is sharing about recovery from sexual abuse on TikTok, right? We don't have to pay $250 an hour for some bored person to listen to us rehash the things that caused us pain anymore. We can get insights in less than 5 minutes from a licensed person, psychologist, that can actually give us some information to go on, right? So this is how this is coming and distilling itself down into enough of this authoritarians on pedestals. Okay, this is about community coming together. I've been where you're at. I can give you this guidance. Oh, and they can give you that guidance, and together we'll fill in the gaps. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a whole different way of doing things, and we are right on the edge of it now, right? So this next 6 months is about going through and cleaning everything up. Get those mouse turds out of the fucking corner, okay? Because
For sure.
come January 2024, we're going to have only like 6 months or so until,
Until what?
Hurdle is
What
on
was
so, and back in America. No, I take that back. I'm just joking with you. Yeah. So we have.
You won't have that long to wait until I'm back in the United States.
Oh,
I'll be back shortly after that.
Okay. So in January, right, this is all going to start moving forward again, and Pluto will be back in Aquarius for the next generation. Okay. Yeah. So take a look, if there are things that still hold you to the outdated paradigm of people that are better than you being able to tell you how to live, right? Those are the things that need to be purged. Pluto loves to purge. Get that shit out of there. Okay?
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So thank you so much for all of that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and look at what you need to work on to allow that transformation in your life, and then go ahead and let go of those things that are no longer serving you once again. Now let's take a look real quickly. This is kind of interesting. When this came up this morning, I'm like, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern. So today's card of the day is the 5 of Pentacles. All right. So I want to share with you the interpretation around that, because it's very interesting. And then I'll bring up the other point that I want to make with it. And that is, first, the interpretation. Today, let your fears and insecurities be a catalyst for change. If you've been feeling incompetent in your work, think about what new skills or new work habits will help you feel more confident. All right. This is exactly what we're talking about. Go look at where the work is to be done.
Yeah.
Okay? And, all of that. So if you've been ill, take a look at your lifestyle and make some practical changes for healthy living. All right. Though it may not feel good, your fear is a valuable tool showing you where you need to make changes. Okay. So yeah, definitely take a look at that lack mentality that you're living through, the instability, the scarcity thinking, the alienation, all of that, because that's kind of the theme of today. But you want to be looking for, okay, what ways can I shift this so that it's no longer scarcity thinking? It's no longer lack mentality. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing I wanted to point out was the last 3 weeks, we had the 4 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, and now the 5th of Pentacles.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes. So the 4 is about, I always look at that card and go, that's the miser. Okay. He's got his feet on his coins. He's holding it to his chest. He's protecting what is valuable to him. Okay. The Six of Pentacles is all about sharing the wealth. Where can you contribute? Okay. Now, after contributing for a week, right? Now we come into the Fifth of Pentacles. Oh, scarcity thinking. Do you think you've given too much away? Do you think? Well, guess what, hon? That's bullshit. There's more on the way. All right. Just start looking to where you start going into fear mode because you've been giving too much, too much being subjective, right? You've been giving, right? And you still have this lack thinking that there's a finite pie to be given from. And if you give away 7 pieces, there's only one left for you, instead of the fact that berries grow on bushes and we can make more fucking pies. Okay.
We can?
We can make all the pies we want. All right.
Yummy.
So yeah, stop that thinking that your purse has a bottom to it. Okay. And realize that abundance comes from source energy, not from you. Right? We don't create abundance. We create limitations. So let go of the limitations that your mind are putting in the way of your abundance. All right.
Yeah.
There's plenty more coming. Don't be afraid to continue giving, because that's how we strangle our abundant flow. Is we get to a certain point of being generous and giving, and then it starts to go, oh, am I going to have enough left? Bad thought number 1. Let's cut this down a little bit. And we keep thinking that way instead of reminding ourselves, no, I am not the source of my abundance. The universe is the source of my abundance. My creator is the source of my abundance. I am just a channel for it to flow through. So let's stop squeezing down the passageway, expand out, and allow more abundance to flow through us individually. All right.
That's exactly what Pluto wants us to do.
Yeah.
Get rid of those belief systems, expand beyond time and space, connect to your soul level, which is, if you connect to the soul level where it's infinite abundance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you so much for adding that into it. Because I'm like, yeah, this seems like easy stuff, but there's a reason why this is the theme right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner, Leslie De La Vera.
Wow, awesome.
Thanks so much for being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. All you need to do, Leslie, is reach out to one of us to claim your gift. And for anyone else who doesn't know how this works, every week, we give away a 30-minute reading. And it will be from one of the 3 of us. If you choose me, it'll be an intuitive tarot reading. If you choose Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you choose Miss Damaris, it will be a numerology reading. And that's basically all you got to do. Pick what kind of reading that you want and reach out to us in Messenger. And, we'll get you on the schedule right away. Likewise, for anybody who would like to experience one of our readings or any of the other services that we offer, please reach out to us and let us know, and we'll get you on the schedule right away. All right? Once again, thank you all for being members of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. Thank you for being part of the Coven of Joy. Thank you especially to our Patreon members, who we have so much fun with a couple of times a month. And thank you to all of the people that have a hand in making this show what it is each and every week. Krista, Damaris, and Mama Crone, thank you so much for being my partners in, not in crime, in creativity.
Yes.
And,
I love it. Especially that's your word, right?
I know. I love that.
So everybody have a fantastic week, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye.